In 2025, I interviewed the co-founder of SpaceX and then went back to cleaning toilets at minimum wage. And if you're watching this feeling behind, not productive, not successful, barely believing you can change, then this is for you. Because I'm going to give you the 3 rules that made my year finally start stacking wins, even while I was still broke, still at uni, still doing the same routine. And I'll tell you the exact moment last week during uni deadlines when I nearly quit this podcast. Not as a motivational story, but as a warning. Rule 1 is so simple, it is annoying. It's don't stop. This year taught me something. Most people don't fail because they're dumb. They fail because they leave the game right before it starts working. I started the podcast in early 2025. For months, it was basically me talking to the void. 50 views, no money, still working on weekends, still doing uni assignments, still working uni assignments I didn't care about. Then it slowly bent. YouTube started pushing it, episodes started getting shares, views started turning into millions across all social media platforms. And here's the part that messes with your head the most. Even when you start winning, your brain normalizes it. The baseline resets. You stop feeling the progress. It may look like you're winning to others, but it doesn't feel like you're winning to yourself. And the habit that made it all compound wasn't some secret hack. It was record the podcast, train, read every day, no matter what. That's literally it. Even when it feels pointless, even when you're tired, even when you're too busy, even when it's 1 page of book read, even if it's 10 minutes in the gym or 1 email sent, if you're stuck, then still this 30-day reset. Pick the thing that you want to do, something you're good at, maybe something you enjoy and can eventually make money from. Show up every single day, the same time, even for an hour after school or after work, then don't stop. Literally just don't stop ever. And lesson 2 for 2026, find your vehicle with a 60-second exercise I'm going to give you in a minute. So this year I realized podcasting is my vehicle, right? It stacks everything I care about: deep conversation, curiosity, filmmaking, photography, content, business, meeting insane people and befriending them. But this matters for you even if you never touch YouTube or podcasting, because your vehicle is literally just the craft, the mission, the business, the skill that you're willing to suffer for long enough that then starts winning it in the future. But it doesn't matter if you're not into podcasting, you don't want to make a YouTube channel. The vehicle is literally just something that you care about and will do long enough until you get the results, something that you'll do even when there's no success or results on the horizon. Here's the 60-second vehicle finder. First, answer these honestly. What would you do when nobody's watching? What do people always ask you for help with? What topic could you talk about for 2 hours without any prep? What would you do if money didn't exist? What would you do if the judgment from others didn't exist? If you can answer those, you're actually way closer than you think to finding the vehicle that you can pursue and do passionately and make a career out of for the rest of your life. And this is exactly what I did. It's the exact questions I asked myself when I started the podcast. Lesson 3, I was working hard on the wrong things. Rule 2, effort is not the metric, outcomes are. The lesson is the effort is not the metric, outcomes are. Here's what actually worked in 2025 for me. The big episodes people wanted to share with big guests, topics with built-in curiosity, big names, big ideas, trending stuff, clips with tension, not just random 10-minute highlights that nobody cares about, in-person recordings. They have better energy, better results. They're much more dynamic. And the remote ones which did work were, like I said before, with the big name guests. Now, here's what felt productive, but actually wasn't. Sitting on my laptop, working, checking Google Analytics, tweaking tiny stuff, making content nobody was actually searching for, and many, many other things that I can't even remember because they were so unproductive. So 2026 is going to be boring and ruthless. Double down on what works, cut out what doesn't. Improve retention 1% per video, and hire help like an editor or a clip generator when I need it, because I don't want to be 47 years old and still cleaning toilets. Lesson 4 is the power of incentives. People are busy. They pay attention when there's a clear win for them, right? When I started asking guests to come on the show, sending them emails, I used to say, just come on my podcast. And obviously nobody cared, right? Then I started pitching like, here's what you get: a clean clip for your channel, high quality produced audio for your channels, makes you look good, your name amongst big name guests, and then obviously state the big name guests, and a conversation that will give you an audience and new fans who will love the work that you already have out there. So their name amongst famous people that have already come on the show, loads of new clips for them to put on their social media platforms, and a way to promote themselves and their work. And trust me, that literally changed everything. So always ask what's in it for them when you're trying to get someone on your show or get a collaboration or even just get some advice. You just always have to ask what is in it for them. What's their incentive? Why should they care? How does it benefit them? Because they're going to be subconsciously asking that exact question whenever you offer someone something. And as soon as I changed my podcast emails to match with their incentives, so to help them promote their work, make their name be amongst these other famous names that are high status and successful who already come onto the show, and help them share their story and connect with a new audience who will then end up following them, people started saying yes to come onto the show. And also when I put my own social proof in, saying that I'm Europe's fastest growing under 21 podcaster and in the top 7% of most popular new shows on Spotify in 2025 and an award-winning BBC featured photographer, as soon as I started putting those in the emails, I started getting results. I started getting people come onto the show. And the more names you can get on your show and the better conversations you can have with these amazing people, the more bigger names and cooler people will come onto your show in the future. But it also works for business. You just got to think, why should they care about my product? How does this product benefit them? How does what I ask actually impact their life in a positive way? What can they get out of it? Because we're selfish creatures. We always want what's best for us. So you have to offer that when you're trying to contact people or get a mentor or create a product or get anyone on your show. But I want to give you a real moment, a real example. When the show first started moving, right, I remember staring at the numbers and thinking, this can't be real. But I also was thinking, why do I still feel behind after all these numbers and everything? I still don't feel like I'm doing enough. And that's the trap. You start winning and your brain still feels like you're where you were a year ago. You still feel like you're not doing enough. You still feel like you could have got more out of yourself and in the day. And it just feels like you're losing, even though you're winning. And that is exactly what set up the worst week of the year of 2025. And that week was 2 weeks ago. The last week of December, the uni deadlines hit. I'm not talking a bit busy. I mean, a suffocating 2 weeks where everything piled up. I was doing essays all day. I was behind. I was sleep deprived. And suddenly my brain starts negotiating with me whilst I was doing this, because obviously I was still trying to do the podcast every day. I was still trying to work out every day and read every day whilst doing all this uni work that I don't really care about and wasn't enjoying. So my brain started giving me thoughts like this: just pause the podcast for a week. Nobody will notice if you stop the podcast for a week, right? You can restart in January. And that is exactly where it is. The decision that would have killed everything, killed my progress, killed my favorite thing, my life's work. Because the pause for a week is how you pause for a month, and then you're back at zero and you've paused for a whole goddamn year. Then you tell yourself, you're not the kind of person who can do these things anyway. You're not the kind of person who can follow through. You're inconsistent. You know, you got ADHD or something. And I did the opposite. Instead of stopping, I recorded anyway. And there were a few nights where I was doing an essay from maybe like 10 a.m. after going to the gym till, 10 p.m. And I just sent one email out. I found one email address inviting a guest to come on the show. And it wasn't perfect. The edit wasn't perfect. The emails weren't perfect, but my energy was perfect. I did not break the chain. If you do something for one day, if you miss out on something one day, if you slip up one day, that's a mistake. But if you slip up 2 days in a row, that's the formation of a new habit, my friends. So don't beat yourself up for not doing it for one day if it was a genuine mistake. But make sure, even in those moments, even in the trenches, when you've got all these deadlines, but you're really trying to start that business or you're really trying to start that podcast, and keep going because you're getting progress. You're monetized on YouTube. You're getting these massive guests that you would have only dreamed of getting. any other time in your life and you're starting to see the progress, even if it's small, the compounding is just beginning, but you don't have enough proof yet. You don't have enough money yet to leave your job. You don't have enough proof yet to really blast it in people's faces and say, see, I told you I can do this. Just don't stop in that moment, because if you stop then, you go back to where you were before and you've already been there. You know exactly where it leads you, and you need to be very, very careful if your brain starts telling you things like it did for me when I almost stopped. Let's just stop for a week. We'll restart in January. That was never going to happen because I've done that too many times in my life. And it's always proven to me that if I stop something, it takes a lot of willpower, a lot of activation energy, and a whole lot of strength to pick it back up. So it's probably just easier to just do a tiny bit of it every single day and let it compound rather than stopping for 6 months. Lesson 5 is the 85-year-old you framework. This is how I stopped feeling behind even when I was winning, and actually helped me continue to do the things that I love doing and avoid things I don't. I asked myself when I was feeling uncertain, didn't feel like I was winning even though I was getting all these results this year. I asked myself, what would 85-year-old me do to make me feel miserable? And yeah, the list is brutal. Stop the podcast, stop training, stop reading, drift, become a degenerate, working in the 9-to-5 office trap, comfort myself into a life that I absolutely hate. Then I asked, what would 85-year-old me do for me to love my life and want me to do more of? What would 85-year-old me want to do more of? And that'd be more training, more learning, more nature, more podcasting, building more friendships, and just more building the show in general, and more traveling and more creating and more time spent with my loved ones and more time in the sauna. So here's my 2026 non-negotiable checklist, and I advise you to make your own checklist and comment it in the comment section below, because I'd be really interested to see what you write. And this is my checklist. Podcast work daily, even if it's small, even if it's one email. Train in the gym, read, go to the sauna and socialize, nature and sunlight, and sleep like an adult. Quite simple, not too many things. And the main three obviously are podcast, train, and read, but the other things are just as important as well, or almost as important. So I'm going to hopefully try and do all of those every day, or at least some of those every week if I'm too busy doing the other stuff, because we can't do everything. You might as well try and make that checklist as small as possible, really, so you can promise to yourself that you can do those things and make it more realistic, because we tend to overplan, overstretch ourselves. And if you want to do something new, you have to put something down. It's just the brutal honest truth about life. It's kind of like what I've been doing with photography in the podcast. I started the podcast and I've really not done as much photography as I used to, but that's okay. I had to put it down to pick up podcasting, which I actually am enjoying much more and getting more from. So let's just keep going, not stop. So my 2026 is simple. Grow the show, make real money from it, quit what I need to quit, move somewhere sunny, get bigger, get stronger, read more, and keep building. But the real goal is becoming one type of person, the guy who doesn't stop. So if you're still in the phase where you're obscure, you're uncertain, you have doubt whether it will even work, even if you'll get anything from it, even if it's the right thing, then good. That means you're early. Stay in the game. Also, make sure to comment, I'm not stopping, then put the date and you'll check back in 30 days. Also, comment below, in 2026, I'm not stopping, and then put the date and check back in 30 days. And my next video is going to be a solo episode on Sting's Autobiography. It's an insane story that I've learned loads from. It's an incredible, incredible book. Plus, I've got some huge guests lined up for 2026, and I'll break down how I'm changing the show to make it even better on my second channel as well. So there's a lot of things for you not to ignore. And my final message, my final lesson for you for 2026 is just don't stop. Thank you for all the support. It's been a really good year, the biggest year of my life, the most change I've made in my life so far. And I'm so happy that you're watching this and you've really thought the show was of value to you, because by watching it, you're genuinely changing my life. I cannot appreciate it enough. Happy New Year. I'll see you on the other side. Don't stop. Just keep going. I believe in you. Let's go.